From one Brazilian who could well join Arsenal to another who may not, it appears. Vinicius Jr. This one's on the back of the Sun, no bin, no fee. All smiles as he returned to Real Madrid ahead of crunch talks over his future. So where are we at with this one, do you feel, Sam?
Well, it's an interesting one. Arsenal's position is that if Vinicius does not want to sign a new contract, and if Real Madrid are not willing to let him go into the final year of his deal, which does expire at the end of next season, then they would be willing to make an attempt to sign him. Now, that's obviously a lot of ifs, and there's a long way to go on this, but Arsenal's position is that they, across the board within the club, feel that they could do it in that scenario. That's obviously in itself very interesting because this is a sort of deal that financially goes way beyond anything that Arsenal have done before in their past. And people might point at Declan Rice, for example, but I think the numbers that we would be talking about here for Vinicius Jr., certainly in terms of wages, are astronomical compared to Declan Rice. And according to the latest reports in Spain, Vinicius has effectively turned down a contract which would in England be worth around £550,000 a week. In Arsenal's current highest earner is Bukayo Saka on close to £300,000 a week. So you're almost doubling the highest earner and completely shattering the wage structure. It's not the sort of deal that Arsenal have done in the past. It's not the sort of deal they have done under Mikel Arteta in this sort of revolutionary process that he's overseen over the past 6-7 years. But perhaps they feel they're now in a position as Premier League champions. Perhaps they feel they can get enough sales in, enough money generated through departures to really make this happen. But as I say, it's a big departure and there are so many ifs and maybes behind this deal that I think it's so definitely too early to call.
OK. Martin, I just wonder, for context, when I think about, the Premier League as a whole and the players that have been signed over the season, the big transfers, but, actually signing this level of superstar by any club has been very, very difficult, hasn't it? Would you say that the Premier League more like makes superstars rather than sort of recruits them from abroad? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's an argument for saying it does that, because I just think the way it is, most clubs have this sort of structure that they don't want to disrupt too much. So, as you say, if he's being paid 550,000, that would be, certainly in terms of Arsenal, that would just put him out of a different stratosphere to all the other players, and there's a risk there, of what does that create problems in its own right. So, I think you're right there, David. It would be a departure to bring in somebody like that, especially at the height of his career as he is now. So I think that will be something Arsenal will have to weigh up and calculate, the benefits against the negatives.
Quick Vinicius Jr. update for you. He is back in Madrid, back in training. First session under new boss Jose Mourinho. After his World Cup run with Brazil, contract talks with Real Madrid resume this week. He got just 1 year left on his deal, which runs out in 2027. So, Real need to move fast or risk losing him for free. Mourinho reportedly wants him to commit long term. Vinicius has always said, Real is the club of my dreams. But talks have dragged for 18 months over money. He wants to be the top earner. Real have kept Mbappe at the top of that pile. And that's exactly why Arsenal are lurking. Arteta has identified Vinicius as his priority left-wing target. If this Real Madrid situation stays unresolved, nothing imminent, but Arsenal are ready and watching closely. Talks this week could settle it either way. We will keep you posted as it develops.